Welcome to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in.
Today we'll explore these key vocabularies in depth: peel, peeler, pomegranate, radish, raisin, and sage, with detailed definitions and plenty of examples to help you master their usage. Peel, verb, noun.
As a verb, peel means to remove the outer skin or layer of a fruit or vegetable. As a noun, it refers to that removed outer layer.
She used a paring knife to peel the orange, revealing the juicy segments beneath the bright skin.
He tossed the banana peel into the compost bin to enrich the soil for next year's garden.
She patiently began to peel the apple in one continuous spiral, practicing a technique she learned online.
He slipped on a stray peel on the kitchen floor, reminding everyone to dispose of peels safely after cooking.
She asked her son to peel the potatoes for tonight's mashed potatoes, giving him a child-safe peeler.
He admired how thinly she sliced each potato peel into crispy chips that tasted like gourmet fries.
She decided to peel the kiwi with a spoon to preserve as much fruit as possible.
He collected every piece of citrus peel to dry and grind into homemade zest for baking.
She tried to peel the mango by hand, but ended up using a knife for more control.
He stored his orange peel in a jar of alcohol to infuse it for cocktail bitters.
She watched a tutorial on how to peel garlic cloves quickly by shaking them in 2 bowls.
He tossed the stubborn garlic peel into the compost after retrieving the smooth, fragrant clove.
She taught her friend to peel carrots using a soapy wash to remove any soil before cooking.
He admired how each carrot peel curled into decorative ribbons when run across the peeler.
She reminded her helper to peel the ginger carefully, scraping off only the thin brown skin.
He rubbed a spoon across ginger to remove most of the peel, preserving the maximum root for flavor.
She needed to peel away the burned outer rice peel before serving the risotto.
He collected the rice husk peel to use as mulch around the garden's new seedlings.
She set aside every potato peel to boil later into a flavorful vegetable broth.
He cautioned her that leaving pumpkin peel in the soup would alter its smooth texture.
Peeler, noun. A peeler is a handheld kitchen tool with a sharp blade, designed for removing the outer skin of fruits and vegetables efficiently.
She held the serrated peeler at a shallow angle to remove just the skin of the cucumber without wasting flesh.
He admired how his Y-shaped peeler made quick work of dozens of potatoes for the large family dinner.
She switched to a Swiss-style swivel peeler when her straight peeler struggled with slippery zucchini skin.
He stored his stainless steel peeler in a magnetic strip alongside his knives for quick access.
She preferred a peeler with a built-in eye remover for tomatoes, easily removing any spots.
He demonstrated how to use the safety peeler for children, which covered the blade when not in use.
She replaced the dull blade on her old peeler after noticing it left jagged edges on apple skins.
He clipped a compact travel peeler onto his camping kit for lightweight meal prep in the wilderness.
She appreciated the ergonomic grip on her peeler that reduced hand strain during long vegetable prep sessions.
He used the julienne side of his multifunction peeler to create matchstick strips of carrot for salads.
She always rinsed the peeler immediately after use to prevent starch buildup from potato skins.
He kept a ceramic-bladed peeler in his drawer for rust-free, non-metal contact during acidic fruit prep.
She learned to store her peeler blade down in a drawer organizer to keep the edge sharp and safe.
He practiced shaving ultra-thin ribbons of ginger with his premium peeler for hotel-style garnishes.
She found that flipping the peeler mid-stroke prevented it from scooping too deeply into the flesh.
He taught his partner to hold the peeler blade parallel to the cutting board to achieve uniform peels.
She carried a foldable pocket peeler in her picnic bag for peeling apples on scenic hikes.
He admired the bright handle color of his new peeler, making it easy to spot among his utensils.
She noticed how her non-slip peeler stayed firmly in her hand even when wet from peeling tomatoes.
He recommended a peeler with a swivel head to follow the contours of round fruits like lemons effortlessly. Pomegranate. Noun. A pomegranate is a round fruit with a tough outer rind and dozens of juicy, jewel-like seeds inside, prized for their sweet tart flavor and antioxidant content.
She cut the pomegranate in half and gently tapped the back with a wooden spoon to release the ruby-red arils.
He mixed fresh, pomegranate seeds into his Greek yogurt for a festive crunch and vibrant color contrast.
She strained the pomegranate juice through a fine sieve to remove any white pith that would add bitterness.
He marinated the lamb chops in pomegranate molasses, enjoying its deep, sweet tangy glaze after roasting.
She sprinkled pomegranate arils over her spinach salad, combining earthy greens with sweet bursts.
He extracted the pomegranate juice with a citrus press, noting it produced clearer liquid than manual squeezing.
She froze pomegranate arils on a tray for an icy garnish on cocktails and winter desserts.
He taught his daughter to pick out every pomegranate seed before adding them to their holiday dish.
She juiced the pomegranate overnight in the fridge, allowing the flavors to meld with a hint of lime.
He loved that pomegranate arils improved both the taste and visual appeal of his rice pilaf.
She made a refreshing pomegranate spritzer by combining juice with sparkling water and mint.
He decorated his panna cotta with a ring of shiny pomegranate seeds for an elegant finishing touch.
She saved the leftover pomegranate husk to steep in hot water as a mildly flavored tea.
He drizzled pomegranate glaze on his roasted eggplant, balancing the vegetable's richness.
She tossed pomegranate seeds into her morning oatmeal for a pop of flavor and antioxidants.
He reduced pomegranate juice with sugar to make a tart sweet syrup for drizzling over cakes.
She layered pomegranate seeds and whipped cream between cake layers for a festive trifle.
He made a savory relish by mixing chopped pomegranate arils with diced cucumber and cilantro.
She enjoyed peeling the pomegranate carefully to avoid bruising the inner seeds.
He noted that ripe pomegranate feels heavy for its size due to its juicy arils. Radish. Noun. A radish is a small, crunchy root vegetable with a peppery flavor, often eaten raw in salads or as a garnish.
She thinly sliced the red radish into translucent rounds for a crisp, peppery salad topping.
He salted mashed avocado with chopped white radish for an unexpected crunch in his guacamole.
She pickled thin radish slices in vinegar and sugar to add a tangy side to tacos.
He roasted baby radish with olive oil and herbs, which mellowed their sharp bite into subtle sweetness.
She demonstrated how to use the radish greens after trimming the roots for a peppery pesto.
He diced radish and folded it into tuna salad, brightening the fish with a spicy crunch.
She added chopped radish to her vegetable platter, arranging the slices like flower petals.
He stuffed radish halves with cream cheese and herbs for bite-sized hors d'oeuvres at the party.
She roasted whole radish bulbs in the oven until tender, transforming their flavor profile.
He enjoyed the black radish variety for its stronger, earthier pepperiness in winter soups.
She taught her students to distinguish between daikon and watermelon radish by their color patterns.
He thinly julienned radish for a tangy slaw that accompanied his fish tacos perfectly.
She buttered toast and topped it with sliced radish and flaked sea salt for a simple snack.
He spiraled radish with a vegetable peeler into ribbons to garnish his ramen bowl.
She sprinkled minced radish over deviled eggs for a delightful pop of color and heat.
He minced radish finely into his egg-fried rice for a savory twist on the classic.
She preserved radish in brine with chili flakes for a spicy, crunchy condiment.
He described radish flavor as a brief sting followed by a clean finish on the palate.
She enjoyed eating radish straight from the garden as a low-calorie, crunchy snack.
He noted that radish pairs particularly well with fatty meats because its bite cuts through richness. Raisin. Noun. A raisin is a dried grape, often sweet and chewy, used in baking, cooking, or as a snack.
She stirred golden raisin into her oatmeal along with cinnamon for a naturally sweet breakfast.
He folded plump raisin into his carrot cake batter, adding pockets of sweetness among the spice.
She soaked dark raisin in warm water before adding them to bread dough to keep them plump after baking.
He sprinkled chopped raisin over his spinach salad to introduce a surprise chewy sweetness.
She mixed raisin and nut granola to create a trail mix for her long hiking trip.
He soaked raisin in orange juice to rehydrate them quickly for use in a fruit compote.
She folded sunflower seeds and raisin into her homemade muesli for breakfast parfaits.
He melted butter and brown sugar on the stove before tossing it with raisin to create a sticky topping.
She baked raisin-studded biscuits, liking how the dried grapes burst with flavor when warmed.
He stirred rum-soaked raisin into his chocolate chip cookie dough for a boozy twist.
She added a handful of golden raisin to her couscous for a Moroccan-inspired side dish.
He noted that raisin are high in natural sugars, making them both energizing and calorie-dense.
She packed a small bag of raisin as her mid-afternoon snack to curb sweet cravings.
He combined chopped raisin with nuts and seeds to stuff into stuffed bell peppers for texture contrast.
She enjoyed the plump raisin so much that she often ate them straight from the box.
He baked a traditional spiced raisin bread loaf that filled the kitchen with warm aromas.
She taught her daughter to dip raisin into melted chocolate for a quick homemade candy.
He recommended replacing sugar with mash of baked apples and raisin for a natural sweetener in muffins.
She garnished her yogurt bowl with raisin and fresh berries for a colorful, healthy snack.
He noted that sulfur-free raisin retained a lighter color but required the same storage care to prevent mold. Sage. Noun. Sage is a perennial herb with gray-green leaves and a warm, slightly peppery flavor, used fresh or dried in cooking.
She added chopped fresh sage leaves to her brown butter sauce, enjoying the herb's earthy aroma.
He dried his own sage harvest by hanging the sprigs upside down in a dark, ventilated space.
She folded minced sage into her Thanksgiving stuffing for a classic flavor profile.
He infused olive oil with crushed sage and garlic to create a fragrant, savory drizzle for bread.
She rubbed sage and lemon zest under the skin of the chicken before roasting to flavor the meat.
He mixed ground sage into his sausage seasoning blend for an authentic breakfast sausage taste.
She brewed a simple sage tea by steeping fresh leaves in hot water to ease her sore throat.
He stuffed mushrooms with breadcrumbs, parmesan, and chopped sage for elegant hors d'oeuvres.
She made a compound butter by whipping soft butter with minced sage and garlic to top steaks.
He added a pinch of dried sage to his white bean soup for a gentle depth of flavor.
She garnished her pumpkin risotto with a few fried sage leaves for crisp texture and aroma.
He taught her that sage pairs exceptionally well with rich foods like butter, cheese, and pork.
She sprinkled chopped sage over roasted root vegetables to introduce an herbal warmth.
He noted that dried sage is more concentrated, so uses far less in recipes compared to fresh.
She combined rosemary and sage in her herb garden for a fragrant Mediterranean aroma outdoors.
He infused vinegar with a few sprigs of fresh sage to create a savory salad dressing base.
She dried the used sage leaves and stored them in jars alongside her other dried herbs.
He dusted a few fresh sage leaves in the pancake batter to introduce a subtle savory twist.
She balanced sweet burnt sugar in her sauce with a sprig of fresh sage simmered briefly.
He appreciated how sage enhanced both sweet and savory dishes with its complex, earthy profile.
We hope these vivid demonstrations help you feel confident using peeler, pomegranate, radish, raisin, and sage in your daily conversations and culinary creations.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Join us next time for more vocabulary insights.
Goodbye and happy learning!